He's coming down here. He's down straight over this black stump. It's late March and we're hoping that the red deer roar is going to start ramping up. To be honest, it's probably one of the best wallows I've ever seen. There's obviously a few stags getting about. We might even just set up a bit of an ambush and see if we can call something in. That's what the roar's all about. He would have come into about 10 metres in the end. Hopefully we can replicate that sort of scenario, get a big stag into about 10 metres. It'd be pretty nice.
Come to the end of the valley, it's all hidden basin. There's at least 6 or 7 stags going off, just egging each other on. Sadly, there's nothing mature there. They all look really young. We're just going to keep moving and hopefully find some more stags for the morning.
We've got a stag roaring just in front of us up here. Really good little setup. Our wind should have been carrying down the gully. Just try and repeat it again on another stag. So after finally laying eyes on a few stags, it's quite apparent that the genetics aren't quite what we've come to know and expect where we were last week. So I think the task is going to be just trying to find something nice and mature and just enjoy the atmosphere. There's so many roaring red stags at the moment. We're in a bit of a prime spot. We've got about 3 or 4 stags below us here and we're trying to just coax one up. It's real thick country so we can't actually see in there, so I'm going to sit here. The thermals are good, they're racing up the hill, so hopefully we'll be able to call something into range. He's the best stag we've seen by a long shot. Doesn't matter about the points or anything, it matters about what happened there. End up shooting him here at maybe 10 metres or something, I'm not too sure. Absolutely stoked. It's got plenty of mass, age for where we're hunting here in southeast Queensland. This is pretty much as good as you're going to get a really mature stag. Plenty of character, beautiful old deer. To call him in really close is what the red roar is absolutely all about. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm over the moon. He's a very, very nice stag. Bit of reward for hard effort. We'll get to work, we'll take a bit of meat and obviously the head and pack out.
Well, another beautiful morning in southeast Queensland. Got up nice and high at first light and just greeted by an absolute symphony of stags. We've got at least 5 going off in all different directions, going absolutely wild. We're just chasing roars at the moment. Got a stag responding across the valley here, so we're going to drop down, come up the other side, hopefully get drawn into the hind call.
Such an awesome little hunt.
There's no better time to be hunting in the Australian bush than during the rut. I love calling in these big red stags, and yeah, we had such a cool encounter. We were calling to him for over half an hour. He's going to eat really well, he's in great condition still, and we'll get to work taking plenty of meat off this fella and get it back to camp.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Red stag heart, absolute staple in deer camp.
Well, just sucking in the big ones after climbing up that hill, doing a bit of bush bashing to get to an elevated ridge. We're going to turn the headlamps off now and just progress up here and hopefully sit and just wait and listen. We've got plenty of time before first light, so we're really in a good spot. Hopefully we can put the optics on a stag or hear something this morning. Got a massive stag below us here, definitely a shooter. I'm just going to do a hind call and see if he responds because he's heading towards the neighbour's place. I just want to pull him up. Did you hear that? He's roaring. He's walking that boundary fence. We've got to go. We've got to get the wind right. We've got that stag here at about 150. If we get to these gums, we should be able to call him up with the hind call. Those roos are taking off down the gully. We're going right through where our stag is. We'll just set up here and do some hind calls. Hopefully he comes in. That's pretty devastating, to be honest. I've personally never seen a stag that big. I didn't get an amazing look at him, but just the mass and length and everything. That was a proper red stag, so I just hope that wasn't our opportunity for the trip. It always feels a bit frantic these first few minutes of daylight. Just trying to catch something moving back from where they've been feeding to their bedding area. We've got so much ground in front of us that we're just going to try and pick it apart, move, pick it apart, move. Just got a couple of goats that are feeding up on the same ridge as us. Gonna drop down and hopefully take one for me. They're about 100 metres away in some sort of open phase, so we'll just hug the tree line and hope the wind holds out.
Well, it's always good to take the opportunity on some much needed camp meat, but she's only made it 30 or so metres and conveniently died here in the shade, so we'll get to work taking the back legs, back straps, front legs, and whatever else we can sort of harvest off her. Always good to fill the freezer and yeah, make the most of the mid-morning lull while the reds are a bit quiet.
There's a stag coming. Looked up, and that absolutely beautiful red stag walked in. He sniffed that tree at like 30 metres, like well within bow range, and then moved back up the hill none the wiser. But that was such a cool encounter, like such an awesome stag. He had so many points going everywhere. I don't even know what he was, but awesome encounter. Definitely made the morning, and we'll just keep making our way up. Hopefully we can see some more deer.
Well, that pretty much sums up our red deer hunting this morning. Haven't seen a single soul. As we're making our way across, just saw some antlers in the grass down here, and it was a young fallow buck, so gave out a doe call just to let him come in and practice, obviously just calling animals in. He would have made it to a few metres just there, as you would have seen. If we can replicate that on a big stag, that'd be awesome.
So we've just heard our first croaks of the trip. Sort of come out from the head of this basin. The does are just right here. Plenty of does in the area, we can actually hear them chirping, so I don't know how effective a doe call will be. Gave him like 1 or 2 doe calls and had him come right in. He had a broken main being on his right antler. Then the other side was all clefty, but not a bad buck for this sort of area, but just not what we're after.
So we've had another buck spark up here below us in the valley. Haven't got any eyes on him yet, so again, it's hard to go off a croak and assess for maturity, so we're going to poke down, try and get eyes on him. Well, I don't know if that lav mic's picking much of the audio up, but the does are just talking to one another, really chirping, letting out a few little doe calls, but it's got that buck amped up. He's only pretty young, like very spindly, not much in the way of palms, so nothing that we'd shoot, but it's still cool watching these deer strut around doing their thing.
That buck chased the doe into like 15 yards. They're just here below us, but he's chasing him around. It's pretty cool. We have boots on the ground while the sun's still rising, and hopefully lay eyes on some predators.
Hopefully it's a few last rules for the rut. If not, try and locate some stags with the glass and have one last encounter and make it all happen. Just going to keep following this ridge along, glassing down into these pockets. Hopefully see some reds moving back to their beds.
And we're just going to do a location rule, see what we can spark up for the morning. Every time we call, we're going to try and set up, just to make sure if anything does come in, we sort of got the upper hand. But there's a lot of younger stags as well that just come in silent, never make a noise. Just putting the feelers out there, seeing if anyone wants to reply or come in. So we'll give it 10 or 15 minutes. If nothing happens, we'll keep moving.
The signs starting to pop up on all the ridges, a couple of rubs. Looks absolutely beautiful through here, plenty of feed, nice and quiet. Wow, after all the effort we put in today, we've finally found some red deer. We've got a couple of hinds, a yearling and a spiker. And sadly, there's just a spiker, so there's no big stag with them like we're hoping for. And I'm sure they've had a stag with them at some stage, just Not our luck today. Pig's in front of us, not sure if it's a big sow or a boar. I've just put an arrow on in case and we're going to sneak in and see what it is. How bloody awesome was that? Just made it onto that bench at last light and we capitalised on the situation perfectly. Yeah, this fella popped up at 60 metres or so. This sort of floppy ear and a bit of white hanging out. Very thankful to be spending so much time in the hills at the moment, capitalising on some beautiful critters like this one.
So this is probably my favourite time of the morning. You've got those Australian birds just starting to let out their songs and you can sort of see that light filtering through and you just sort of feel like with every glance and look through the binos, as it gets lighter, something's going to pop, you're going to see some movement or a different texture or something. It's, yeah, only a waiting game at the moment. You just keep covering country, and there's a certain anticipation that comes with it. Straight away it's noticeable how quiet it is up here on the mountain. We've got a few red deer down here that I can see, but there's a whole heap of country below us. This morning's been a pretty stark contrast to the last week or so in South Queensland. We've traded sort of heaps of roars and quantity of stags for a lot less dense population here and quality. So we've seen that young stag this morning. He was courting a few hinds, and yeah, he's like a beautiful deer. Like if we had seen him last week, he's probably at the top of the hit list. Whereas here, he's just a young deer with great genetics. So it was cool to watch him, and we've sort of slunk off into the bush. We're just going to glass and pick apart this basin below us basically for most of the day. We'll let out a few roars, see if that can hopefully hone us in on the right direction as to where something might be. We've got the whole basin below us. I was sitting here just doing a bit of glassing and heard out to my right, just below us here in the dogwood, a bit of a rock slip. And honestly, in the second or two that I was able to sort of look up, realised that there was a stag's antlers. I pretty quickly assessed it wasn't a shooter, it was a good young stag. It ended up being that 6'5" from earlier this morning that we watched plenty with the hinds. And he would have walked, I don't know, about 10 yards through here. Had no idea I was there until he sort of got my wind and then ran off. Just had a red stag roar in front of us, so hopefully he's going to come into these hind corners. Yes, he's coming down here. Shaky. Oh, that was gnarly. That's why we do it. That's why we red stag hunt, is to hear him roar and then have those close encounters. And I think I've just shot my personal best red stag with the bow, so absolutely pumped. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd come down here to New South Wales and put a stag like this on the deck. He's far bigger and just more impressive in general than anything I'd ever seen, so absolutely stoked. He's got these gnarly broken points, so he's obviously been fighting this bent sort of brow tine here, which is absolutely unique and just, yeah, full of plenty of character. These trays are just so long, it's incredible. And then the tops obviously speak for themselves. These massive long spallers and finger-like projections are just, yeah, insane. And this roar in general has just been amazing, jumping back and forth from New South Wales, what this time of year is all about, and I couldn't be happier. It's always a pretty arduous task breaking down a red stag, but we've managed to
remove the back legs, front leg that wasn't damaged, all the neck meat, back strap, tenderloins, and the heart, of course. So we'll get busy, packing this guy out. Got the skull to take as well. It's downhill, which is fortunate, and we'll go and get all this meat hanging.